Are you ready for the most magical game show on Earth? Welcome to episode 134 of Disney Jeopardy! As always, I am your host, Bryan Perri, and I'm thrilled to present you with 26 Disney trivia questions to test that Diz nerd brain of yours. If you watched last week, you already know that Bolt is a part of this episode. It's not quite a classic Disney movie, but it's an underrated one for sure, and I'm so excited to present you with a category all about the 2008 film for the first time in this show's history. I've got 4 other categories as well, including the Club DJ member category of the week. Did Owl House finally pick up the W? Let's find out by taking a look at the board and seeing what this episode's all about. Final Jeopardy wheel leads it off as always. It's Bolt coming up first. That's followed by Disney Square Garden. Next up, we've got Titletown. Your theme park category of the week is Pirates of the Caribbean, The Ride. And the Club DJ members let their voices be heard. The winner is the Fab Five. It was another close poll decided by just a few percentage points. The Fab Five finally wins. Reprise Scenes is your runner-up. I actually thought that one would win. Owl House comes in last. Don't know what else to tell you guys. If it makes you feel any better, I'm about to serve you some cupcakes, the easiest clues of the game. We'll start it off as we take a look at the board and begin with Bolt. When Penny picks Bolt as a puppy, he's playing with a toy shaped like this. What is a carrot? All right, it's time for Disney Square Garden. This category is all about gardens and flowers you might see in a Disney film. I titled it Disney Square Garden just because I wanted to tie it to Madison Square Garden, aka my other home. We begin with the 200-point clue. In the live-action version of Beauty and the Beast, Beast confronts Maurice after he steals a white version of this type of flower. He stole a rose. Let's check out Titletown for the first time. The first Pixar film to feature a character's name in the title. It wasn't until the 5th Pixar film where we saw a character's name in the title. That's because Toy Story didn't have one, nor did A Bug's Life. Toy Story 2, obviously not as well. Monsters, Inc. doesn't count. So your correct answer is Finding Nemo. Let's check out Pirates of the Caribbean for the first time. In 2012, Walt Disney World's version of the attraction added projections of this type of creature near the start of the ride to coincide with the release of On Stranger Tides. One of the main storylines of the 4th Pirates of the Caribbean film, On Stranger Tides, was the inclusion of mermaids. That is your correct answer here. All right, it's time for the Club DJ member category of the Fab Five. If you're unfamiliar with the characters who make up the iconic squad, they are Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto. Let's check out the first clue about that squad. All 5 members appeared in this Disney live-action film released in 1988. Correct answer is Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I wonder who he really was.
I'll tell you one thing, Doc. He weren't no rabbit.
Cupcakes are done. It's time to move on to the main course. Here come the 400-point clues. Before realizing he doesn't have powers, Bolt believes that this material is his weakness. You could have said either styrofoam or packing peanuts.
Yeah, well, normally I'm a tad more indestructible. Must have been the, oh, styrofoam! That stuff, it weakens me! Aha! What are you doing? Put that down!
On to DSG, Disney Square Garden for the second time. Name the Winnie the Pooh character who has a garden outside his home. That would be Rabbit.
Ruined! My beautiful garden!
On to Titletown for 4. The full titles of the 2 Disney feature animation films starring Pooh Bear. We've got back-to-back Winnie the Pooh clues right there, and that actually is half of your answer. Winnie the Pooh came out in 2011 in between Tangled and Wreck-It Ralph, but all the way back in the 70s we had The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Let's move on to Pirates for the second time. The number of drops on the Walt Disney World version of the ride. Unlike Disneyland's significantly better version of the attraction, Walt Disney World simply drops guests one time and does not bring them back up. No, the guests get out of the boat in the Walt Disney World version, and then the boat goes up by itself back to the loading station. Disneyland's includes going back up and then has that like baby drop at the top, so I didn't want to include that in the clue, hence why I asked Walt Disney World's. Long story short, the answer is 1. Here comes the final clue of the 400s. Dippy Dog, Rover, Mortimer, Minerva, Fauntleroy. Attach the 5 names to the Fab 5 characters they're associated with. Well, let's start with the Big Cheese himself, the boss, Mickey Mouse. Before Walt called him Mickey, he considered calling him Mortimer. So we'll attach Mortimer to Mickey just like that. We've got Minerva next. That is actually Minnie's real name, Minerva Mouse. Dippy Dog was the first name tied to Goofy, which is ironic considering Goofy's not exactly a dog. Rover is a dog, and he went on to become Pluto. And finally, Fauntleroy is attached to Donald because it is Donald Duck's middle name. Let's move on to the 600s now. Here's Bolt again. The pigeons in Los Angeles tell Bolt they want to see a future episode of his with a storyline focused on this. Well, they got their wish at the end of the film. The correct answer is Aliens.
Wait for it.
Aliens.
Oh, snap.
Aliens?
Audiences love aliens.
Holler back.
It'll be huge, man.
It's time for Disney Square Garden for 6. The name of the sister in Encanto who has the ability to magically create gardens. Her name is Isabella. We're on to Titletown for the halfway point of the game. The only MCU film to include an asterisk in its title. That would be Thunderbolts.
Look at you. So adorable.
Let's go ride pirates for the 3rd time today. The name of the restaurant the Disneyland version travels next to at the start of the attraction. I have always wanted to eat there, but I am yet to do so. If anyone wants to invite me, let me know. The correct answer is Blue Bayou. Here comes Fab 5 for 6. Out of the Fab 5, this character was the last to be introduced. So I've already alluded to the fact that Mickey was, of course, the OG, but Minnie debuted in the same exact short, that being Steamboat Willie in 1928. So they're eliminated. Next up, anyone want to guess, just for fun? It was Pluto as Rover in 1930. Then Dippy Dog, aka Goofy, as we just learned, came in 1932, meaning the character who always claims he's number 1 is actually number 5. In this instance, Donald Duck was the last to be introduced, that being in 1934. You know, the most fascinating part about the years they were released is that despite being younger, Donald and Goofy actually surpassed Mickey in popularity in the late 30s. And Disney said, I don't know about that. Let's make Mickey popular again. And created The Sorcerer's Apprentice, which of course became a big part of 1940? 41? I don't remember the year. Fantasia. Let's move on to the 800-point round. It's Bolt again. After crossing the majority of the country together, Bolt leaves Mittens and Rhino outside of this city and continues on to Hollywood by himself. It is my second favorite city in the United States. Correct answer is Viva Las Vegas.
You take care, Mittens.
It's Disney Square Garden for 8. All in the Golden Afternoon is a song sung by flowers in this Disney film. What is Alice in Wonderland?
All in the golden afternoon, the golden afternoon.
Here comes Titletown for 8. The last Disney feature animation film to have a title that was longer than 2 words. We have to go way, 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 way back, all the way to 2021 for the correct answer here. That is Raya and the Last Dragon. Here comes Pirates of the Caribbean: The Ride for 800. The amount of Captain Jack Sparrow animatronics on the Disneyland version of the attraction. Well, we can count them together. The first time we see Captain Jack is when he's hiding next to that well scene. Then he's hiding in the barrel. And finally, you see him at the end as you are heading up the lift hill that I talked about earlier, meaning the correct answer is 3. Here comes your last clue before the 1000s. It's the Fab Five. Walt Disney famously voiced early versions of Mickey Mouse, but he also was the first voice for this other member of the Fab Five. You had a 25% chance of getting this right. The question is, did you? You sure did if you guessed Minnie Mouse. 20 clues are down and 6 remain, including Final Jeopardy. But before we get there, you know what time it is. It is time for the most overly dramatic soundtrack infused unnecessarily spotlighted part of the game. The 1,000-point round. Hit it. I mentioned it 2 weeks ago, but after this episode, Disney Jeopardy will be going away for 2 weeks. It'll be returning on October the 10th, so if you were looking for a new episode next Friday, I apologize, but you could maybe go back and watch any of the 134 that are available on DisneyJeopardy.com. If you want details on why I am going away for 2 weeks, very exciting news, you can check it out on my Instagram account. There might be some clues on there this upcoming weekend. Let's get back to the game. It's the 1,000-point round. After hopping in a U-Haul in New York City, Bolt and Mittens end up getting out in this U.S. state where they meet Rhino. The correct answer is Ohio.
Tuck and roll!
Tuck it what?
4 clues left on the board. The first one's from Disney Square Garden. Name the character who spoke this quote. Lovesick girl would make a charming addition to my little garden. A unique garden for sure. The answer I'm looking for is Ursula.
King Triton's headstrong, lovesick girl would make a charming addition to my little garden.
Here comes your final clue from Titletown. Pixar has released 8 films since the start of 2020. Name the only 2 to feature titles longer than 1 word. Well, the most recent Pixar film with a title longer than one word was one of my favorites ever, that being Inside Out 2. For that, it was Turning Red. 2 clues left on the board. Here comes Pirates for 1,000. The name of the man being dunked down the well. Always love the woman in the windows yelling, "Don't tell them, Carlos, don't be chicken," as he's basically drowning. He's being drowned by some pirates. Pirates who suspiciously look like Captain Hook and Smee, by the way. Carlos is the answer.
Tell him, Carlos, don't be chickens.
Final clue on the board before Final Jeopardy. It's the Fab Five. Fab Five members Donald and Goofy join Mickey in the short film Mickey and the Beanstalk. You can watch it as a part of this 1947 Disney feature animation film. It's actually got a lot of sad but kind of hilarious animation. As you take a look right there, look at how thin this piece of bread is. Not funny. Not funny. They're hungry. Not funny, but great animation for 1947. You can watch this short film as part of Fun and Fancy Free. You really should check it out if you're a fan of old school Disney. All right, 25 clues down. 1 remains, just so happens to be the one clue of the game that will ultimately determine how proud of yourself you will be. Wait for it. For the next 21 days. This is a big one, folks. It's Final Jeopardy time. And to determine the category in Final Jeopardy, it's time to spin the wheel of Mythica. No, not that one, but it's time to spin the Final Jeopardy wheel. It's the Final Jeopardy wheel spin. Let's see what it lands on. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is by far the closest one we've had yet. Let's go to the instant replay. Just a smidge gives the victory to Mulan, which means it's time to make your wagers based on how much you remember about this 1998 classic. Would you say that Mulan is the least popular Disney feature animation film from the 1990s, not named The Rescuers Down Under? I don't know. It's a classic, but I feel like it's often slept on. Let's see how much you remember about it by checking out the final clue of this episode 134, the final clue for the next couple of weeks. When first meeting Khan, Mulan's horse, Mushu calls him this type of animal. Good luck. And time is up. If I could pick any character in Disney history to introduce the 1,000 point round every week, Mushu might be the choice I make, because his introduction of, well, himself was certainly one to remember. And right after his dramatic introduction, he called Khan a cow.
I'm travel size for your convenience. If I was my real size, your cow here would die of fright. Down, Bessie.
And that does it for episode 134 of Disney Jeopardy. Thank you so very much for watching, and thank you, Bunny, for being the greatest producer in YouTube history. As a reminder, guys, I won't be here the next 2 Fridays, but I'll be returning on October 10th. As for the Club DJ members, fear not. I'll have 2 polls for you guys, meaning you'll choose 2 of the categories in the next episode, episode 135. Here's your first poll. It includes the runner-up from last week. That is reprise scenes. Make sure you lock in your vote for that one in the next 7 days. That'll determine, like I said, one of the 5 categories in episode 135. And then there'll be another poll soon after that, coming out on Friday, next Friday, instead of the episode. So be on the lookout for that as well. If you like what you saw, do me a favor. Subscribe and click that bell icon. Hello, bell. This way you're notified every time we come out with brand new content. I've been your host, Bryan Perri. I appreciate you all so very much, and I'm so excited to see you in October. Till then.
Bye-bye.